Welcome, everybody. First, I want to thank State Senator Tammy Story for hosting us in her beautiful district. We're really about to make history here in Colorado. I'm particularly glad because today really brings together Colorado's longstanding historic leadership and conservation with innovative ways to make sure that we can achieve the goal of inclusion and make sure our beautiful wild areas like the one we're at today are accessible to everybody. We are boosting an important resource through Great Outdoors Colorado and provided a dedicated funding source for helping to promote, support diversity and inclusion and equity in access to the outdoors. You know, our outdoors are an amazing place to spend time. And every Coloradan deserves that opportunity, whether they live in Aurora or Denver or Grand Junction or Pueblo. And spending time in the outdoors is important spiritually from a physical health perspective. It's also an important part of our economy in rural Colorado. This new grant program will make sure that diverse and equitable access to our outdoors is a reality for youth from across our state. Opening doors to provide a lifetime of being able to enjoy the great outdoors for the diverse youth of Colorado. Signing this bill makes me so proud because its ties to our storied conservation past, but more important, its investment in the diverse future of Colorado and the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Congratulations, it's an amazing job well done. We are really creating a Great Outdoors 2.0 with a series of bills that we'll be signing today. We've created new funding sources through lottery spillover funds for equity, for improvement in our state parks. We're reducing the cost of a state park pass from $80 to under $30. That's an equity issue too. It's economic, it's racial, it's about access. And so for kids and families, making sure that everybody has the opportunity to enjoy the Colorado we love is such a key part. Restoring the lottery waterfall and the share of lottery revenues that go to outdoor conservation and to school buildings has been a big priority for us. We're joined by the head of the Department of Revenue, Mark Ferrandino, that heads the Colorado Lottery. We're joined by Parks and Wildlife Commissioner Charlie Garcia. Charlie, any other commissioners? Okay, we're joined by Dan Prenslow, the executive director of Parks and Wildlife. DOR staff. Is Tom Seaver with us, Mark? I didn't see Tom. Yep. GOCO staff. Outdoor recreation staff. Is Nathan here? Where'd Nathan go? Okay. You're Nathan? Okay. Wilderness workshop staff. CDTC staff. I know Nathan. You're no Nathan. Colorado Cross Disability staff. Grand Canyon Trust staff. Atlantis Community staff. Latino Outdoor staff, Echo staff, Next 100 staff, Lincoln Hills Cares, TNC, Sierra Club, CWF, One Colorado, CDTC, Avid 4. My goodness, there's just so many folks here to acknowledge. I want to thank all of you. It is. Some of it will be on TV for you. So this wouldn't have happened without the champion of outdoor equity and access and inclusion in our state legislature. And I want to thank Representative Leslie Herod for her work to really bring the great outdoors to more Coloradans and bring more Coloradans to the great outdoors so they can enjoy everything that our state has to offer. It's my honor to introduce the member of the Joint Budget Committee, Representative Leslie Herod.
Well, hello again, everyone. I'm State Representative Leslie Herod. I am proud to be on the Joint Budget Committee. I'm proud to serve with the other few members who really do control the state budget along and present a budget to the General Assembly to vote on. When I joined the Budget Committee, I had a conversation with the governor and his staff and really talked about how we were going to infuse equity into every single portion of the budget. And I got to tell you, they challenged me, right? They're like, ag? Parks and Wildlife? Like, what are you doing? And they were just, I think, joshing me a little bit because they knew that the efforts were already underway, especially right here with GOCO, to make sure that outdoors in Colorado is as equitable as possible. But I got to tell you, it hasn't always been. And so while I have been able to enjoy the peace of mind that comes with being in the Colorado outdoors, not everyone has. I think of my friend here, Jessica, who really brought this movement to Colorado. Folks don't realize it, but did. Started out by taking some black women hiking and literally got harassed off the mountain because the mountain wasn't for black people. And what could we possibly have been doing up there? And that's hugely, obviously problematic. It's racist, but it doesn't actually grow Colorado into the place that we know it is and should be. And so I'm proud to be able to now be able to support Jessica's efforts. In my campaign, you had me do a campaign talk on one of your hikes, I think you remember, which was different for me. But it was really important because it is important that we also are able to enjoy what I call is the Colorado peace of mind and the Colorado way of life. And so we're really proud to be able to have this fund now to support efforts like Jessica's and so many others to get young people out here to appreciate the outdoors, but also for all of us. It's so very, very important. And one thing I want to talk about real quick is why we're here, right here in Lincoln Hills. How many of you guys had heard of Lincoln Hills before you came up here? How many know the historical significance? Awesome. I love it. So Lincoln Hills was founded as a resort in 1922 for African Americans to be able to retreat and recreate. There were about 3 spots in the nation at the time that allowed black folks access. That was out at Martha's Vineyard, out on the East Coast, Lincoln Hills, and then a place out in California out west. So Colorado has a rich history of welcoming black folks into these hills, but it just hasn't always stayed the same. And so I want to give a shout out to Robert Smith and the Burketts, who made sure to reclaim this land and give it back to our community so that we can enjoy it just as it was always intended. And so today we are putting millions of dollars into the outdoors for equity. That's huge. This is our first and historic investment, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. But we could not have done it without the amazing coalition partners that I know we're going to hear from, but the amazing coalition partners that are here today. Coalition partners, raise your hand. Y'all came out, y'all testified. Y'all have been doing this work for so long on so little, and it is Colorado's duty to be able to support that work. So thank you. Black, brown, indigenous, people with disabilities, LGBTQ people, all of these folks that are here today who are saying that we belong on this land too. It's our land, and we are going to make sure that we enjoy it, right? Right? Are you guys excited? Yeah? All right, y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to the next person, and then we're about to get this bill signed into law. Thanks, everyone.
I think, and by the way, I want to acknowledge also Carlos Fernandez from Nature Conservancy is here. Thank you for joining us, Executive Director. Jason Swar from Wilderness Society is, Jason Swan from Wilderness Society.
Right behind you.
There you go, Jason. How are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for coming, and many thanks to our champions, Representative Harold. Thank you so much for championing this bill. Give her a round of applause. Ann Ortiz, President Garcia, Senator Jaquez Lewis, and Governor Polis, we appreciate you. My name is Jason Swan. I am founder of Rising Routes, co-leader of Outdoor Afro, and also the OEGP, Outdoor Equity Grant Program, coalition member as well, and also representing Next 100. Don't want to forget us out here in the streets. Thank you so much. We're on behalf of the Next 100 Colorado. This is a really diverse coalition of over 60 local, state, and national organizations. So thank you for your support in improving access and equity in the outdoors. So I really appreciate it. It's an honor to have worked with so many great people on this effort as well. And I'd like to acknowledge the indigenous communities for their continuing stewardship of these lands and waters across Colorado. And more importantly, we sit on the ancestral lands of Ute and Cheyenne. So I just want to give a shout out. And they are continually stewarding this land till this day. This bill is a win for future generations of Colorado youth and a great start towards making the outdoors accessible for all. But we still have a lot of work to do. And we are inspired by those who strive to build equity in the outdoors by making it as a welcoming place as possible for everyone. And by connecting our younger generations to nature, they can find the peace and equanimity that I found when I moved to Colorado. So thank you very much. And the love for the outdoors is universal among all Coloradans, and we all benefit from access to the great outdoors as well. And establishing this grant program would bring us closer to that goal. So I look forward to working with Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the Outdoor Equity Grant Board to implement this program. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And let's, next, I introduce DNR, Department of Natural Resources Executive Director Dan Gibbs.
Great. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for those great words, and thank you for your leadership participating in the DNR's EDI steering groups. I really appreciate your willingness to do that. I'm Dan Gibbs, the Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Natural Resources, and really want to thank the coalition members. And I know it's dangerous when you start naming names, but Outdoor Afro, Next 100 Coalition, the Keystone Center, TNC, Elk, Conservation Colorado, Wilderness Society, just to name a few, that really stepped up big to help with this process. Also want to recognize Mark Ferrandino for the Department of Revenue. You've played a really important role in helping with this as well. Of course, the Colorado Lottery and Representative Herod. Wow, thank you so much for really helping to tie everyone together. Also, Senator Jaquez Lewis, Senator Garcia, Representative Ortiz, and Senator Story, thank you so much too. The Outdoor Equity Fund will ensure that Parks and Wildlife expertise in wildlife conservation and recreation is accessible to youth and their families from diverse backgrounds throughout Colorado. This complements the work that DNR and Parks and Wildlife is doing every day in diversity in the outdoors. Parks and Wildlife houses many of the grant-making boards and programs working to improve the experience for Coloradans and visitors alike. These boards and programs make up individuals of communities around the state, bringing valuable external perspectives to division and ultimately the department's decision-making process. I'm just really excited to be here, really excited for the future of these kids to really be able to get outdoors and make sure it doesn't matter where you live in the state of Colorado, that everyone should have equitable access to our amazing outdoors. Next, I'd like to introduce Director of Parks and Wildlife, Dan Prinsloo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Colorado Parks and Wildlife Director, and the good news is, I'm the last speaker. We can get to the real issue where the governor's signing. So, Colorado Parks and Wildlife is very excited to work with Coloradoans to broaden access and opportunity to underserved youth and their families to experience Colorado's open spaces, state parks, outdoor areas, fishing areas, as Lincoln Hills is. Just what a wonderful site. And again, thank you to Matthew Burkett and Mr. Smith and all the staff that were so open to do this signing here. What a beautiful location. So it is no surprise to any of us that nature is a critical part of our lives for many reasons, but there are some within our communities that don't have the ability to experience the adventure, the excitement, and the restorative aspects and values that Colorado Outdoors provides. Possibilities of our state are endless, and this new grant fund is a step in the right direction toward helping others by providing dedicated funding to enhance, to expand, and to elevate programs and organizations who are focused on reducing barriers and increasing the quality experiences for underserved and under-resourced families. Each young person deserves a brighter future and having the ability to live their lives outside and a major part of their life if they so choose. So we're so excited everybody could be here. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for all the support in the bill. Thank you for you that worked so hard at it. And for that, thank you.
Let me also just say a few words about how this is funded and why that's important. You know, legislators can always go and fight in any given year to fund something. What this does is it makes a statement that inclusive access to the outdoors is a value. It sets up a funding stream that as long as people are buying lottery tickets, this will be funded. It doesn't have to go back to the legislature every year to be funded and fight with other priorities. It's set on automatic funding to show that inclusive access to the outdoors is really just a base value. and I'm really excited with the funding structure that it sets up. Also excited for the funding for Parks and Wildlife and the Wildlife Cash Fund. This is really a great way to not only bring people to the great outdoors, but to make sure that the outdoors are there for them. And so it really has both pieces, and it's there for people of all races and all backgrounds and all income levels. So, are you kids ready for us to sign it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Find the wheels.
It's officially the law of Colorado.